This week on Geeks on Trial, we're judging when it is or isn't acceptable to take a bathroom break during a movie. Prepare your bladders and stay tuned for our verdicts. What you are listening to is real. The parties involved are not cool. They are actual geeks with a case pending in the court of public opinion. The party's case has been dismissed, and the dispute will be settled here on our podcast. There will be no lawyers. There will be no witness testimony. The judge's decisions are final.
Hello, I'm Judge Ivan.
I'm Judge Jonathan, and this is Geeks on Trial. Today's case, bathroom breakup.
Welcome to Geeks on Trial. This is the podcast where we settle petty disputes between actual geeks over movies, video games, board games, and more. If you'd like to submit your own geeky case for a future episode, you can email us at geeksontrial@gmail.com. You can also support the show over at patreon.com/geeksontrial for just $5 a month, where you can get early access to both our audio and video episodes, plus our bonus show, Geeks on Trial Sidebar.
Yeah,
That's
a pretty good show.
It's a fun show.
It comes out. It comes out 2 times a month. That is our promise to you. It comes out
2 times a month, every other week, bi-monthly, whatever words you like to put in there. Hey, sir, I have a question for you.
Oh, well, now that I'm awake,
I have
what's
a
your
question for you. If you could live in any video game universe, what would that be? I've been thinking about this a lot lately.
It gets more natural every time you ask a question like that. I believe it more and more.
What?
This is fun because this is just like the kind of subject we cover on our Patreon show, Geeks on Trial Sidebar. So this is sort of a little preview. We're incorporating what those episodes are like into our main show to give you a little taste.
It is.
Isn't that fun?
It is fun. I love it. So answer the goddamn question. I asked you a question.
I like this.
I put the question on the table. Why aren't you? You're stalling for time. Give me your answers.
Could you frame it in a new way for me? Just reword it slightly.
No.
You can't. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Because I did understand it the first time. Yes, if I could choose a video game world to live in, and we're talking permanent. There's no backsies.
No backsies.
You have to leave your life behind. You wake up tomorrow in another world, the world of a video game.
Right.
But let's assume for the purposes of this hypothetical question.
Ah, Jesus Christ. Okay, go on.
I think we need to establish
let's go.
There's some boundaries and some rules we need to understand.
Always with the rules with you.
In my mind, this is an idealized version of this world. It's not as if, like, if I choose, if I choose Tomb Raider, I'm not like, I don't now have to like jump in a grid pattern and like there's visual glitches. You know what I mean? Like, it's as if this world became real in my mind.
Right. Yeah. What are you, stupid?
Like, it's not like, oh, if you forget to save your game.
No, think of it this way. So all of these things, all these video games became movies at that point, and those movies weren't as glitchy. Like the Mario movie isn't glitchy and stuff. Well, it isn't, glitchy, or the Tomb Raider movies aren't glitchy, so think about it that way. But, but you have the same video game lives and video game, like, you can get endless lives. You can do whatever, like, all of the video game things are there, but it's, it's 4K. It's modern. It's new.
This is like all the magic doors from some movie.
You're good.
and each one opens up to the video game dimension. It's like Wreck-It Ralph when you can jump between the video games.
Wreck-It Ralph, a movie that I've never seen.
And also Wreck-It Ralph, they do make jokes about the others. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I guess I'd have to say Tomb Raider.
No, okay.
That's not.
Oh, we'll see you next week, folks. Thank you so much for supporting.
I actually do have an answer for this, and I feel like this is the best answer, and I don't think anyone's going to beat it. And the answer is Pokemon. Okay.
Why?
Pokemon is to me, hands down the best version of this, because first of all, who hasn't fantasized about Pokemon being real and being able to go out and catch Pokemon in the grass and train them?
Now, Pokemon being real as in the game or the creatures?
The creatures.
The Pokemon themselves.
Yeah, yes. Yes. I think you knew the answer.
Well, it's the same thing. The Pokemon being real would be the game as well. Go on.
Yeah. So that's a lot of fun. But the best part about the Pokemon world is you don't need to work or go to school or do anything. You can be a Pokemon trainer, and if you battle people, you'll just get money. Or you can just catch Pokemon and get stuff from them that can generate resources
that's
for
your
you.
job, though. Your job is Pokemon catcher, Pokemon person, Pokemon
I guess,
explorer.
but you don't have a boss. You're not. You're not clocking in.
But that's why it's an ideal world. You know, you go there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right. It is what Pokemon is on my list as well, because we have cute animals here in the world that we live in, our universe, the real universe, if you will. But they're not, they're not talking at you. They're not being cute and these are cute animated characters. Now, would you want them? Going back into the real world thing. Would you be a cartoon yourself, or would these be Pokemon that look like what was it, Detective Pikachu? Like they kind of real worlded what these.
Well, now I think now the question is getting too complicated because I don't, do I look like polygons or do I look like 2D sprites? Right. I don't know. That's overthinking the question.
So for you, one of yours would be Pokemon. Any
that's
generation?
That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Or just the entire world of Pokemon, which I guess is the entire world of Pokemon.
Yeah, at this point you'd want the latest generation just because you'd have more Pokemon to catch, I guess. Like, I don't really have. I mean, if there's not I guess I'd want to live in the Johto region. I don't really care.
So for me, mine would be Pac-Man. What you're in a maze? I'm kidding. That's completely.
I'm like, did you just pick it because it sounds like Pokemon?
Wouldn't it be? That would be.
And my third one, Pikmin.
Wouldn't that be an awful thing to be like? You woke up and you're in the Pac-Man universe. You're just stuck in a maze all day. You're a rat in a cage.
It's a nightmare hellscape.
And you're being chased by ghosts,
torture.
And you have to eat all these little balls of food. I don't even know what they are. But really,
they're pellets.
So for me, I would say I have a few, but for me it would be the Mario Kingdom, the vast array of Mario, because you got carts, you got fights you can go do. You got battles. You can go run around with.
Feels like cheating.
It is.
It's okay.
But there's cute things to like. If you're just sticking to just Mario, the Mario games, anything with Mario attached to it, like not the Kirby world, not like not. You got cute things like when you're in Pokemon 2. You got you got the different creatures going around. You got all the fun things you can do. You can whack your head into a cube and you get money. That's another thing. Mario hasn't worked since the 80s.
That's true. There's just coins everywhere.
You got free money. Sure, there's things that can attack you, so that's kind of bad. But, this really breaks down everything in video game worlds. Video game characters don't work.
It's true. Unless you're playing Euro Truck Simulator or something.
Right.
But I feel like, see, the thing about the Pokemon world is, yes, there's theoretically dangerous Pokemon and there's Team Rocket.
Right.
But it seems like if you stick to the safer areas, it's kind of a utopia. There's very little
like if you
crime.
Never leave your
the only
mom's
crime
house.
is stealing Pokemon.
Right.
That's the crime in the Pokemon world. And maybe they genetically mutate a Pokemon. I don't care. Go ahead, do it.
And how rare is it that you actually get injured while you're at the office fighting Pokemon? Like
you faint. Right. They take you to a Pokemon Center. You're fine. But Mario, I don't know. There's Koopas and Goombas and Bob-ombs. That's kind of scary. They might hurt you. They might blow you up. I don't know if I want that.
That's a fun thing because you can technically not do that. You can walk around the kingdom and not, you can go into Peach's castle and just chill. It's abandoned. She's been taken. Who cares?
You just want to live in a castle, basically.
Yeah.
And go go-karting sometimes. Play tennis.
And soccer. I'm very envious of his mustache as well. I can't grow a good mustache.
This is pretty close to just the real world, it sounds like. You just want,
my other real
universal basic income, which is in the form of finding coins.
I want to be able to just get food that comes out of trees.
Yeah.
I would love to have a nice car that I could drive and race my friends with. So yeah, really, just our world sucks, and I would like it to be a video game, which is why we all play video games.
What's your other one? What's your next one?
So this one would be fun just because you kind of get away with anything. The Grand Theft Auto universe, which I guess is just here. We are the Grand Theft Auto universe. It's us. But
you're getting killed. You're gonna die in these universes.
I'm gonna walk in and just get the cops thrown at me.
Because again, I'm thinking, I don't know. This is the difference. Like, are you the only non-NPC in this world, or is GTA real and now you're just
No, okay.
a
Think
guy?
about playing Grand Theft Auto. You don't get killed or anything if you don't, piss people off.
Yeah, but you might just like bump into someone on the street and then they go like flipping into a car and a giant accident gets started,
Okay, fine. Maybe Grand Theft Auto isn't a great one. What about Animal Crossing?
Oh, Animal Crossing.
The newest one, where you're on an island and you get to live your best life. Within a year, you go from a tent to a house. Maybe, like 3 weeks.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Animal Crossing is a good one.
Because the other two, fine. You can have problems. What's the worst thing that happens to Animal Crossing? You get stung in your eye by a bee. Then you just go to sleep and it's gone.
Yeah, it might get... I don't know. It could be a little... I mean, you get to live with nice, friendly animal people.
And if you don't like them, you can tell them, hey, don't stay on my island anymore. And they just disappear.
Get out. You can take a train or a boat or whatever it is, or a plane now to visit your friends.
You can walk around an island. You're self-sufficient by just selling things that you find on your island. You build things. You're just living the best island life that you can.
I'm also imagining in this world, if it's made real and you're in it, that all your furniture will actually function. So you could actually use the computer. You could actually use the TV.
Right.
You'd get Netflix on there.
Right.
Yeah, then it's just a paradise.
Then that house is amazing. You can have, I just dug a pinball machine out of the ground. I got a free pinball machine. That's awesome.
Check out the greatest museum you've ever been in.
Well, that's the thing, too, with the Animal Crossing universe. Like, you can't just make your own museum. Like, you can't walk into any of Smithsonian's and be like, here, I found this thing in the dirt. Can you put it on display? You can't do that in real life. Animal Crossing, they're building a freaking museum just for you.
It's true. It's all for you, man.
Everything.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Yeah, everything at the Animal Crossing island is for you. All your animal friends are catering to you. It's a very selfish world that the Animal Crossing, the villagers live in. Everything is yours.
It's one of the reasons I don't like as much the newer Animal Crossing, but I would prefer to live in it if it were real.
Well, what do you mean compared to the older ones?
I like the older ones when I wasn't the king of the island, when it felt more like a real town.
Like you were actually living in a place with other people. But that was always a big thing with Animal Crossing too. That was like, oh, this museum, you're the only one putting things in it. Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, sometimes in the old ones they would have, remember, you could donate to something and it'd be like, someone else donated 4 bells.
Oh, right.
You just need to contribute the remaining 8,000.
Right, yeah.
You're like, okay, thanks.
But I guess also, like, back to your thing, like, yeah, Animal Crossing is kind of like a universal world that we all want to live in, which is why it was
yes.
great during
our video game
pandemic.
fantasies are just socialism.
Now,
that's what we want.
You said, is there any other ones that you have in mind? Because I have one where I wouldn't want to live.
Well, that's I mean, the worst ones: Dark Souls, Bloodborne,
Resident Evil.
Pretty sure.
Because even bad. I'm currently playing Resident Evil 7 or whatever they call it now. Every turn you walk into a room, it's like, oh, the floor just opened up and I'm getting attacked. Why? I came here. Yeah. This used to be a nice Airbnb, and now I'm getting attacked by some inbred guy.
That's bad. Yeah, it's not good. It's easy to come up with. Most video games I wouldn't want to live in, to be honest. Right.
But now,
it's a select few.
What? Because we were talking about living conditions in these video games, but I feel like for Pokemon, the food would be good too. Sure,
you could eat a Pikachu. You could eat whatever.
They never talk about that. Like, are all Pokemon trainers vegetarians?
Farfetch'd tastes delicious.
Because
this is known.
There's they're the animal or the monsters, but they're the animals in the area. Is there like a cow, or is it a cow Pokemon, and then you're just eating your burgers as he's saying cow?
I say just ask no questions.
Okay,
that'd be a Miltank probably, or a Taurus would be what you're going with there. Tauros, sorry, not Taurus.
You screwed up.
That's a station wagon. Yeah, food. Yeah, food. Like that's a big aspect of it, is the entertainment. Like, you don't want to get bored.
Right.
But, Animal Crossing can be relaxed. Like Pokemon, there's TV and stuff and movies. Theoretically, you could, if you wanted to, you could become a a YouTuber or an actor
Right.
or something.
But also, like, you know, you're kind of forced, because everybody in the area kind of does Pokemon training. So you're forced to go on like adventures and stuff, which would be also a nice thing. Be like, oh, you need to forcefully go out of your house and go on this adventure. All right, fine.
Sure. But like Animal Crossing, for instance, I don't know, you might get, I don't know that there's a, you know, do these animals know about the outside world? Like after a while, you might go insane not having access to stuff like that.
It depends on what Animal Crossing you're in, because the other one has a train that you can go into the city and you can go see other people. Where like the newest one, which what is the new title?
New Horizons.
New Horizons. You know, you're stuck on an island. Like you got to take a boat out to leave there.
There is a plane. There is a plane though. There's an airport. You could, but like the other places you can go are just other islands that have the same shit you have.
I've never actually thought, like, you can't really go to like a mainland, which I wish they would have added.
Yeah, Pokemon's like a universe, you know, you can feel like you could kind of trick yourself into believing this is like my Earth.
Right.
Because I think the truth is most of these video game realities, you would go insane.
Well,
it would just be so boring.
Because think about it with Mario too. The Mario universe doesn't have like technology. Like it's rare that you see a TV, a movie theater, a mall in Mario. You have
none of that,
and you don't have car. Well, I guess if you Mario Odyssey, they did.
And
it was a full city.
What if you want to, you know, meet somebody and settle down? You got to find there's like 3 humans.
Sure.
And they're all pretty much paired up.
And it is basically Mario is in a arranged marriage. You're going to be with Peach every time for the last 80 years. I don't know how long the game's been out.
Yeah, some of the drawings I've seen have different characters, but a lot of times it's Mario.
Oh, stop searching the internet.
I'll send them I'll post them in the episode notes.
Right. Okay.
So I think Pokemon and Animal Crossing, I think we've conquered it. I think those are the best 2 options.
Because you can tell 2 things about us. We just want to be lazy and live basically the lives that we are having now elsewhere.
Yeah, you just get to chill.
Yeah.
You just get to chill, and everything's kind of cute, and there's no danger. Again, Pokemon has like a little bit of danger. Right. That's why I feel like you could go on an adventure if you want to. It's there.
Where I feel like Animal Crossing, it's kind of forced because like you need to do certain things to live, but like you also don't need to eat in any
Animal Crossing's my summer home.
Okay.
That's where I want to go to Animal Crossing on vacation, but I live in Pokemon.
But don't forget, if you stay away from your vacation for too long, you got to stomp some cockroaches.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
That's a pretty bad issue.
I'll pay some dumb animal to do it for me.
Some bells, yeah.
Well, I'd be curious to hear what our viewers and listeners think. If they have thoughts about video game worlds they would or would not like to live in.
Sure, they should let us know in the comments below.
Or email us, whatever it is. If you're on a podcast, you know. All right.
I'm on a podcast.
Now, but we don't have time for this anymore. We have to get to our case today because we are, in fact, judges.
Oh, I have a gavel. You're right.
Yeah, for anyone not listening, we that's what the robe is. That's the gavel. If you can't see us, I mean, we are judges.
This is the license they give us.
That's correct. Yeah. Only officially licensed judges can get a gavel like this. Mm-hmm. It's official stuff.
Yeah.
And we have a case today.
Oh, good.
That we're going to settle between the 2 of us. Mm-hmm. Today's case comes to us from the internet. You can find a link in our episode description. Our defendant today is Betty. One day, Betty and her friend Brittany are watching a movie together. Betty has seen this movie a few days prior, and she wanted to share it with her friend. And they do so. But partway through the movie, Betty has to get up to use the bathroom, at which point she tells Brittany, "Don't pause it. I've already seen it. It's okay. I'll be right back." However, Brittany later tells Betty that she was put off by this behavior. To her, it indicated that Betty wasn't interested in the movie, and by association, that she was not interested in spending quality time together, just the 2 of them. As dual judges here on Geeks on Trial, it's now our job to determine whether Betty's bathroom break behavior broke Brittany's bond, or if Brittany better be building bridges by backing Betty.
I like that. Could have used one more B.
Bitch.
There it is.
That's for you.
Or bastard.
Or bastard because we're feminists.
That's right. So we are both fans of movies and watching movies at home and watching movies out in the real world. So this story strikes us right in the home, right in the heart, right in the,
strikes a chord, it's 3 strikes, you're out.
At the old.
In bowling, a strike is good.
Oh.
Yeah. This is something I think everyone has dealt with in one way or another. A movie is playing. Sometimes you gotta leave.
Right.
You gotta do the thing.
That is,
You know what I'm talking about.
I would think that's one of the biggest flaws in the human body is having to use the bathroom. It's always at the worst.
High on the list.
It's always at the worst moment, while you're in the middle of an action-packed movie, or you're in the middle of a car. Just middle of a car.
You're in the middle of a car.
Sometimes
you can't go there.
You don't sit in the middle of your car. I sit in the middle.
Yeah, no, like on a, the way it would be designed in a spaceship, that your control panel is right in the center and you look out the window.
No. I sit right in the middle on the shifter.
The shifter. Okay,
but you're driving across country and you have to go to the bathroom. It's the worst thing ever. Watching a movie,
it is.
Worst thing ever. In the middle of a boss cutscene, worst thing ever.
Sure. Well, in a video game, there's a pause button, and at home, there's a pause button. This is certainly a problem in movie theaters.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you can stop the movie and then come back to it.
Since when?
I'll show you another time.
Okay.
But in a movie theater, that's not an option. Is that what's your method? If when you go to see a movie,
depends.
How do you handle this problem?
Depends.
Hold on. No, wait a minute.
What?
What do you mean by you're saying you wear?
Depends.
You do. Okay.
No. I just use the bathroom in the seat. Have you seen those new recliner seats? They're so cushy. They're like a giant sponge. No. So what I do basically when I go to a movie theater is...
This is a gross episode.
The biggest one, it's still in the zeitgeist now, is the 3.5 hour movie...
Argyle.
It's very long. Oppenheimer. So during that movie, I planned, because we went to see it at a massive theater that held 10 to 12,000 people. And I didn't want to get up, cross people in the way, walk all the way downstairs. We went to see it in New York. New York has a weird movie theater that's multiple levels. There's weird bathroom situations. Anyway.
It's an IMAX theater. It's all IMAX theaters are like that. Yeah, a real IMAX theater.
Way to just dilute my...
I'm saying you didn't need to make it sound so special. That's what people can relate if they've seen an IMAX movie.
All right, fine. So you've been to an IMAX theater. There's bathrooms, whatever. So for that movie, I just planned and didn't drink as much. Right before I went into the theater, I hit the bathroom.
It's like getting a colonoscopy.
Right. Well, I usually do that during a movie theater experience as well. It makes it more... So they could see the screen. But anyway, so I planned for that movie. But normally for when I go out and see a regular movie and just chilling, and it's not like a giant event, like a 3.5 hour, 3 hour movie, I'll just kind of, play it by ear. You can kind of tell in a movie, okay, this is starting to get to the lull of the film. I'll just kind of know when that's coming, get up and go to the bathroom. There's nothing really you can do about it, because if you do have a bladder that's full to bursting and you wait and hold it, then you're just constantly thinking about, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. Oh, I need to go to the bathroom. And you have that in the back of your head, because it's can I go now? Should I go now? Oh no. So it's you have to just kind of pull the trigger, pull the pin,
Ugh. Yeah. I don't know. Either they all sound gross.
And just kind of just be okay, fine.
What's the trigger?
I have to go to the bathroom. Well, it's between the and the. Anyway.
That little thing.
What do you do? I mean, you have a special skill of just never using the bathroom. You
know me. I have a bladder like a steel trap. Mm-hmm. I ain't letting nothing in and nothing out, unless I said so.
What do you let? Anyway.
It's like the Panama Canal. There's a series of, what do they call those?
Canals.
There's a series of canals. I have trained myself over the years to prolong myself not going to the bathroom for long periods of time. And particularly for movies, I hate to leave a movie in a movie theater, because I don't want to miss anything. Right. I don't want to miss anything. I don't care if there's a lull for me, because I just know, or I don't know is worse. Something might have happened. If I'm with somebody then that's maybe a little better because
Right.
I can ask them afterwards, what did I miss? But a lot of times I see a movie by myself and that's not an option. Or I don't trust that person. I'm like,
Well,
I need to see it
especially
with my own eyes.
you don't want to ask them, like, because after the movie, it's not going to make any sense. And if you lean over during the movie, you're that guy in a theater that I'm going to shush.
So I have I have had the experience several times, not often.
Mhm.
I'm not very well hydrated as part of the thing.
Right.
But it has happened where I will sit there and I will suffer.
But you know, but what's worse to like, because you're sitting there, like, it's a bodily function. Your body's like alarms are going off and things are like, hey, you need to go to the bathroom. Like,
listen,
you can turn that kind of off in your head.
You're not wrong.
Okay.
I agree. You're right. It's not the best experience.
Well, because
it's not a good experience.
I'm curious because, like, sure, for me, it's like, because I'm also diabetic, so going to the bathroom is often
weak.
A thing. Yeah, I'm weak-souled. I'm a failure to my body. But like, I was
Your
curious.
doctor says that, right?
Yeah, he walks in, looks at my chart, and just goes weak, and just leaves. I'm like, okay, well, America. So I was curious, so you can't just ignore that because you're, a human, as I've been told.
No, there are certainly times when, sometimes it's not fun because it's like, like you said, you're right. It's distracting. It's hard to focus on the movie, but I will push through it because, especially if it's a movie I'm enjoying. I guess this goes out the window if I think the movie sucks. I'm more likely to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But once in a while, sometimes there's not you just got to do it. You just got to go.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm like running and I'm like, please God, I don't, but because also it's not just missing part of the movie. It's going out into, when you're in that movie theater, it's dark.
Yep, you're in a
There's
controlled
nothing, the screen, it's loud, everyone's quiet. And when you walk outside, it's like, oh, we're back in the world again.
Right.
There's bright lights, there's people talking, walking past you.
You're out of the universe. You're out of the world. And yeah.
And you have to go back in there and then you have to kind of readjust and reintegrate yourself into that mindset.
There's the anxiety of like, okay, I'm sitting in the middle because I chose the good seats. And then you have to walk past all these people who aren't going to move their feet. Oh, there might be a bag on the floor. You're blocking people. You have to do the weird, like, tilt down, but that really makes it worse because people are like, what the fuck is he doing? So it's like, you have that anxiety of like, oh, I have to go back. And then you go back in and it's dark and it's like, oh, what seat? Where was I sitting? Where would I,
Sure. So I rarely, if ever, do it. I try very hard to not have to do it.
Have you tried adult diapers?
I would prefer not to say.
Okay.
Now, but this is at a theater.
Right.
And our case here is happening at home. So I assume for you watching a movie at home, it's not even a question. You just hit pause, you go to the bathroom, that's it, right? There's no...
Usually, but like if it's the same thing. If it's like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom during a giant action scene, I'll wait. Or, but at the same...
right. You want to pause. You don't want to pause in the middle of like you're about to find out the twist ending or whatever.
Right. And I also don't want to rewind at all just to kind of like, but you have that option, which I have done before where it's like, okay, I was in the bathroom. I want to bring it back to a little bit because sometimes with streaming or whatever, it kind of bloops a little bit, but you want to make sure you're at the part you left on. So it's like not a real thing, but I try not to, but like I said, I will. Or like, when you're watching a movie at home with another person or people, you can't control their bathroom thing too. But so when me and my partner are watching a movie, I'll be like, okay, I have to go to the bathroom. Do you also need to go to the bathroom now as well? This is the stopping point.
Like girls in high school. Hey, do you also need to go to the bathroom so we can all go in there and gossip and do our makeup?
Sure.
That's what they do.
Yeah. I
spend a lot of time with them. Cut that from the episode.
So,
I'm the same way.
Now, do you think, bring it back to the movie theater thing, there's a topic on some podcast or forum or whatever at one point for longer movies like the Oppenheimers, the Titanics or whatever. Do you think they should bring back, when making a film this long, an intermission?
Yeah, this was a big thing with Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay, that's
last year.
Okay.
Some theaters put an intermission in and Apple and Martin Scorsese said, no,
Right.
don't do that.
Well, it's different when it's coming from, the movie theater put it in. But the biggest thing I could think about is the Ten Commandments movie. Literally in the middle of this movie, there is a intermission card that comes up on the screen, and there's like a minute of overly produced music that you can go do whatever. It was designed for these theaters because this might have been the longest movie, or one of the longest movies of the time.
And you're a big fan of that movie.
All the time. See it all the time. I mean,
you're
okay.
a Heston freak.
So every year around the Easter time, my in-laws often watch it, and we usually watch it with them. So it's a yearly Easter movie.
I don't think I've ever watched a 10 Commandments. Yep. Not one of them.
Yep.
Have you seen the first 9, or do you just skip to 10?
I like 10 and 11. They made an 11th.
Okay. I've heard 11 is pretty good.
So what do you think? If movies were, if the director put in a intermission in a movie that is this long, do you think it would be annoying, or do you find it would be a good feature only coming from the original movie director, writer, etc.?
Yeah, no, if it's built into the script, it's like the same thing as when you see a play, they have an intermission, right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, especially for like a 3-hour plus movie, I have no problem with that, assuming the director implements it.
And
I don't know that I personally wouldn't. It depends. Like, I think if the movie theater did it and the director didn't, I would probably I'm a little iffy about that, right? Because it's like, if that's not what they wanted, it depends.
And you don't know, okay, did AMC or whoever actually go through the script and find a good spot? Or was it like,
right? How can you trust them?
They went with some like AI program and it just picked it randomly because a movie theater does that just to sell more popcorn and soda. Like, it's not, they don't care about the human bodies in their thing or the story. They care about the bottom line, which is popcorn.
But it could be, if the director or the studio just went in and said, maybe there's an optional, some screenings have an intermission if you're interested in that. I'm not like that. That could be something worth exploring. But this is pretty rare because most movies aren't longer than 2.5 hours.
Right. Now, it is a lot of times. So like when me and my partner go out to a movie, we will, like, the popcorn is basically our dinner. And it's the two of us. So we will have to like go out and be like, okay, we want to get the refill now. What's this time of the refill? And that's also stuff you have to figure out too when you're at home. It is a break period. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a commercial break. Go make a sandwich.
Sure.
Yeah. What about when a movie's on TV? That's back in the day. You had a bathroom break every 15 minutes.
Yeah, we were watching something on TV. It might have been around the Christmas holiday. Like, we had family over and we just had like some movie on, and it's like, I know this movie's an hour and a half.
10 Commandments.
But TNT made it like 2.5 hours with commercial breaks, and I'm like, how did we do this back in the day? Like,
it is. We're complaining like, oh, when you have to get up out of the movie once, it breaks your immersion. Yeah, literally, you would sit and watch a movie, and then every 10 minutes, you'd have 5 minutes of ads for Clorox wipes and whatever the hell.
Now, do you think that, like, having those movies at home made it worse in theaters because people were like, oh yeah, if I watch this movie at home, I could just get up every few minutes and go to the bathroom or get a drink. Where like in the theater,
I don't think it ever did.
For, I guess, real movie buffs.
I don't think anybody. I don't know. I don't feel like that was a thing. I don't know that everyone's ever had that happen to them, but not like the TikTok that's ruining kids now.
Okay, Grandpa. So this case, if this happened to you in real life, you're sitting on the couch with a friend, a loved one.
All right, yeah. Let's get into it.
A significant other, and they
could be a friend. You didn't say friend.
I said loved one. A loved one could be a friend.
Not for me.
Oh, shoot. So, like, would you be upset if you were sitting on the couch with somebody, you guys maybe haven't seen this movie before, haven't done whatever, and they're like, oh, I need to use the bathroom. Can you pause it? Would you be like, the hell's wrong with you? You're here to watch a movie. Don't pee.
Well, no. Yeah. So in this case, yeah, in our case today, it's the friend, the person on trial is the one who goes to the bathroom.
Right.
But she says don't pause it.
Right. But I'm just saying in general for you.
Right.
Would you be...
I'm just trying to get my facts straight.
Okay. We need a fact checker.
Yeah,
fact checker. Come here.
You're asking me in the first example, would I be upset if they said, I'm getting up, can you pause it for a minute?
Right. Or would you be like, let's wait a little bit. Can you hold it?
I wouldn't be upset, but I'm assuming, I feel like most people will do the thing that you said before, which is you are going to wait for like, you can tell when a scene, like an action sequence just ended, or it doesn't have to be an action movie. You can tell when it's like they just cut to a new location. There's an establishing shot of a different building. Right. It's like, this is like a good time.
Or they're like, oh, let's go for a walk to the next location. Or like, there are things in movies like set changes or scene. They build.
We have a sense of the language. Yeah. So like, I think most people are good enough at that.
Right.
Yeah, I would be like, yeah, of course. I understand your human body functions in a way mine doesn't have to anymore.
Right.
So yes, I'll pause it and go ahead. Yeah, no, that doesn't bother me.
I mean, you will shame them, and you have called me weak before for having a bladder.
I don't think I ever have called you weak.
Huh.
Ever. I defy you to find one example of it.
I mean, you are my doctor, though.
Now, if it's the reverse, if they say, I'm going to go to the bathroom, don't pause it.
Yeah,
that is the offense.
Yeah, I don't know how I would feel with that, because, like, the thing is, Betty saw the movie beforehand. Correct?
Right, well, let's remove that from the equation for now. Let's say just in general, or you could add it if you want. I think it's two different situations. In one situation, they've seen it before, and one they haven't. The thing that's weird about this case that makes this a little difficult for me to talk about is that I feel like the classic example of this kind of behavior that's usually debated is when it's the person who wants to show the other person the movie, and the person they want to show it to goes to the bathroom.
Right.
And in this case, it's the opposite. It's, I want to show this to you, and now I'm going to go to the bathroom while you watch this part.
Which, I mean, isn't necessarily a big issue, because like you're leaving the room, but said person is still watching the movie uninterrupted.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that in theory, because like, I wanted to show you a movie. You're still watching the movie uninterrupted. Me getting up might distract you a bit, but I didn't pause the movie and burden you with my weak bladder.
Well, I think there is, when you're showing someone a movie that you want them to see, don't you have, or vice versa, if someone wants to show you, whatever, just watching a movie with someone.
Right.
There's a reason you're not watching it separately.
Right. It's an activity. It's a group.
You want to feel the same reason you go to a movie theater. You want to sit there and feel like if someone gets up to go to the bathroom during a movie, just a stranger in a movie theater, I do yell. I'm like, hey, get back in here, bucko. Watch this movie.
That's also why you carry like a bucket of like rocks with you. You just whip rocks at people.
Yeah. So I understand you want to sit next to someone, and there's something about the vibes, the shared energy of, I want to see how you react to this scene. I want to be able to discuss it later and know that you've seen everything that I have seen. And
it's a group activity. It's something that you are doing together. It's like the same with I would say the same with the video game. Like, it's the same kind of thing. If you guys are playing, maybe not a co-op, but like, oh, I'm watching you play a video game, or we're enjoying said video game together, TV show, whatever. You're right. You could have just done this alone. Here's a link to the movie that I want you to watch. Watch it on your own and let me know what you thought of it.
Right. So, but for me, the offense would be if I'm showing it to someone and they say, I'm going to leave, just keep playing it, because I'm like, no.
Right.
I'm playing this for you.
Right.
This is for you. And what you're telling me is you don't care.
Right.
That you don't like the movie, or you just don't care.
It's like a giant F you,
offensive.
And that's at that point, just leave, go away. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
But again, in this case, it's the inverse.
Right.
Betty's seen the movie, and not like years ago. She said I think she watched it like earlier that week.
Yeah, it's been days.
And she's like, hey, let's watch it together. I'll show it to you. So to me, that's a much lesser offense than
It is
the other way around.
But then also too, like if I was Brittany, who's never seen the movie before, I'd be like, oh, Betty's getting up to go to the bathroom at this point. Is this like a boring part of the movie? Like, is this like you know what I'm saying? Like, should I be paying attention to this movie, this section?
Yeah, I guess nobody's dying in this scene.
Right. Which I mean is
Yeah,
true.
maybe.
If you think of, you get into that like, oh, huh. They don't think they need to see this. Okay.
But I kind of get, like you were saying before, wanting to, especially like, oh, you haven't seen it before. I don't want to mess with the continuity of the movie for you. I'm trying to think, like, in this situation, I think that's what I would do too. Unless it was a movie I really, oh, this is like my favorite scene or something.
Or my favorite movie. I want to rewatch it again.
I also think here's something else. I don't know if this would change anything for you.
Probably not.
The more people there are, the ruder I think it is to pause it.
Okay.
One person, it's like, pause it for me, please.
Right.
Two other people, if there's three people and you're one of them and you're going to the bathroom, then it's like, okay, you can ask them to pause it. Maybe it's like they could talk to each other. You'll be back in a minute. Any more than that, I feel like if you're no longer, you can't ask them to pause it. I think that's on you.
Because 4 more people watching a movie is a theater.
If you've seen it, assuming you've already, maybe if it's a new movie to you and you're like, please, but then there's certainly a limit where it's like, yeah, if you've got like 6 people or something.
But also too,
you can't be stopping this.
Maybe it's just our friend group, maybe it's just whatever. But like, the second you pause that movie, that's not going to be a 10-second bathroom break. That's going to be like, oh, someone's
making a sandwich now.
I'll
go to the bathroom too. You're
Somebody went to Wawa. Now somebody just left. I don't know what happens.
So I think in this case with just 2 people, it's the most acceptable version of it, besides just by yourself, in which case there's nobody to bother you.
Usually I don't hit pause. I just go to the bathroom anyway. I'll just bring the TV with me.
Yeah, well, you could do that now. You just cast it from your phone.
Have you ever been, so the movie theater that you go to sometimes I used to also go to this movie theater growing up. They used to, during the big movies, I remember this during Harry Potter, which was like the big, I forgot which Harry Potter it was. They were showing it in 3
with the glasses.
Yeah.
The scar.
Thing on the forehead. Wizard.
Yeah, that's Harry Potter.
Okay. Yeah. So they were showing Harry Potter, whatever Harry Potter, in like 3 different theaters. So when you went to the bathroom, they had the audio pumped into the bathroom at that theater.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like the dream.
But that doesn't, so this movie theater is a multiplex. There's like 10 theaters in it. So you can't really do that for every movie.
Yeah, that might only work for a movie as big as Harry Potter, because what if you were there to go see something else? Why you don't want to, or what? That's weird. Or what if somebody hangs out in the bathroom and they're just listening to the movie?
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like, how long you spend in a bathroom that you need to, like, the walk is usually longer in most of these megaplexes.
I thought you were going to say you have 3 theaters. Each showtime is staggered by 5 minutes. So you start the 3rd theater, and then if you go to the bathroom, then you go to the 2nd theater. It was 5 minutes behind, so now you can catch up. You leave again, you get some more popcorn and soda, you go back, it's right where you left it.
At that point, I would rather pee myself than do that math.
Why not just go in the empty popcorn bag?
That's gross.
All right, no.
That's gross.
Sorry.
Now,
Sorry
what
for saying
if,
it.
so, this brings up also the point of back to movie theaters. Having smaller non-megaplex theaters would be better because, like, fine, you go to a theater that's only showing 1 movie, they can have the audio playing in the lobby, or they have, something going on in the bathroom that you could run in. Sporting events, this is a big thing. When you go to, like, Giant Stadium during a football game, at the urinals and in the toilets, they have a screen that's showing the simulcast.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
So that's something you could do, but, multiplexes, you can't do that because there's, at least 10 movies going on at once. So that would be a problem.
And they're more worried about copyright stuff, and I'm sure the licensing deals of how they're allowed to play movies is extremely specific.
And also on a technical standpoint, that would just be a pain in the butt because you have to take the projector feed and send it to the bathroom. So you have a bathroom feed. But that's not what we're talking about. So,
but in my own home, in my future, when I'm a millionaire and I have a home theater that's got like lights and movie posters, and that's what I'll have. I'll have a little screen installed that's synced with my TV.
We were talking about
it
it because
dream.
we are looking for a house, and I'm like, what if we just move into an old abandoned movie theater? That would just be the dream.
Would that be the dream?
You have the lobby.
Where's your bedroom?
The lobby. Or the office.
Maybe there's an office.
You got a kitchen.
Maybe.
You know.
Well, there was somebody on TikTok who their family moved into a high school.
I've seen videos like this.
Yeah, like they're an old high school that was no longer in use.
Yep.
They lived in it, and it was like, here's my bedroom, and it looked like a bedroom, but then you walk out and it's like a high school
There's
hallway.
lockers and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it was like a compound too. It wasn't like multiple families living in one. Like it was like their.
Maybe I feel like the one I saw was just one family, but yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing.
They had a gym in their house, like a gymnasium.
This is this is the zombie apocalypse fantasy of. Right. I just want to live in a shopping mall.
So, between Betty and Brittany, I don't know what would be, because like neither one of them did anything wrong. Like Brittany was like Betty saw this movie already. So, you just got up to go to the bathroom, what's going on. I do understand why Brittany was having a problem with it because, you are no longer sharing this group activity anymore. This is now... Because I would feel guilty. Oh, Betty already saw this movie. Is she just watching it because I want to see it now with them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it was her idea. It was Betty's idea.
Right, but you get that like kind of guilt when the person gets up. It's like, oh, are they not enjoying this again? Should we do something? I should just go watch this at home. What should I,
Yeah, I'm ready to give a verdict on this one. For me, this is pretty clear cut.
Go ahead.
Like I said before, if in 99% of scenarios like this, mm-hmm. I would side against the person who is leaving to go to the bathroom and not pausing the movie. But I feel like this scenario is specific enough. Mm-hmm. She has seen the movie just days earlier. Right. That it's fine. And I kind of understand Brittany, but also here's something else Brittany could do is just say, I'll just pause it for you anyway.
Right.
Nothing
stop it.
Like pause it.
She's not tied up. She can see the space bar is right. The remote's right there. Like just stop it.
Right. And again, it's like 2 minutes. I'm sure like the back and forth that you're waiting. If it's important to you that she be there next to you, pause it. But otherwise, the fact that she's already seen it so recently.
Right.
That's the thing. If she hadn't seen it before, that changes everything. But in this case, I think it's totally acceptable what she did. So for me, Betty's not guilty.
Yeah.
Do you concur?
I do concur because like it's really like nothing happened. It's not like, she's at fault for maybe Betty is at fault for, distracting Brittany by standing up and doing whatever. And that could be she's walking away. You're like, oh, she's, but like, you're right. Brittany can just hit pause. Maybe Brittany is at fault for not just hitting pause until she got back. But I do, everything you said, I agree with because there's nothing wrong here. There's nothing that I would be upset about. Like this has happened multiple times. Oh, this is like more so with TV shows where it's like, oh, my partner might have seen this episode thousands of times. First time I'm seeing it, he can recite the line for line in the bathroom and then come back and know exactly where I am and be fine. So like, yeah, Brittany not guilty. Brittany is 100% not guilty of any crimes at all.
I do wish we knew what the movie was.
Yeah.
Because that could make a little bit of a difference if it's like, if you're watching, I don't know, a bad movie.
Well, if it's like a comedy or like a popcorn movie, so it could be a good movie, but like even just like a regular comedy, fine. But if it's like something that you need to follow along with the story closely, that could be a different issue.
I was trying to think of like Valentine's Day, like one of those, like that movie that's just a bunch of celebrities doing stuff versus if it's Schindler's List.
Right.
that's a little awkward,
Or like even like a movie that we like, for example, Poor Things. A movie that is so all over the place that's like, okay, you might want to just pause it so you can both get the experience together. You know, something like that. It's fast moving and weird.
Well, we've determined that Betty's not guilty,
Right.
which means, by the way that our law works,
Mm-hmm.
we have to punish Brittany. Whether we think she necessarily did anything wrong or not, someone gets punished.
Right.
And now it's her. So what are we thinking? Maybe a Clockwork Orange thing where she has to have her eyes pried open, but that's sort of the opposite punishment because she's not the one who left.
Right.
She's the one who wanted to watch it. But maybe that's why it's ironic. She has to now watch it.
Brittany needs to go to a movie theater.
Full bladder.
A regular movie theater, but everyone has the ability to pause the movie.
That sounds horrible.
Think about it. Every time somebody has to go to the bathroom, explain something to an old person. Oh, I dropped my phone. Oh, I'm getting a text. Oh, I have to get a refill my popcorn. That movie would last days.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty bad. I was gonna go something where she has to drink a ton of water and then she can't go to the bathroom while she's watching. I don't know. It just gets into like fetish territory.
Right, that might be her kink. She might like that, and you might make a movie out of that. You don't know. But yeah, can you imagine? So there have been times where I've gone to the movie theaters. I think it was more so after pandemic, where I'm sitting there and I'm like, God, I should just hit pause. I'm like, no, you're in a movie theater, stupid. You can't just hit pause during a theater.
The etiquette has gone out the window. People forgot what it was like to be out in public.
It's true.
That's what they say.
I like it better. I don't like the public.
Listeners and viewers, we'd like to hear your opinions on this one. Have you ever been in a scenario like this or any of the other situations that we hypothetically discussed today? What's your bathroom break policy during a movie? Send us an email, geeksontrial@gmail.com. We've also got a form you can fill out, or you can use our email address in order to send us your own geeky case, whether it be about movies, video games, board games, or other. You can submit that to us there. Don't worry, we'll change your names to protect the innocent, and we'll settle it for you because we are legally sanctioned judges, and everything we say actually does get put into law. These punishments get carried out. Even the ones that I just say as a joke and then we move on, those all happen.
Right.
Including the death penalty.
They gave us gavels. And here in the great state of New Jersey, this is a legally binding hammer.
Yup. What else?
So if you would like to help support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/geeksontrial. Help us by giving $5 a month. You get great bonus content. You get a brand new show that's called Geeks on Trial Sidebar that comes out twice a month. That's every other week or bi-monthly, depending on your definition. And you get early access to both audio and video episodes before they're released to the general public. That's over at patreon.com/geeksontrial. And, if you give us some money, we can get new hammers.
These are the legal ones.
But you can upgrade.
New ones.
We could do other shows with new hammers.
Because these are like bronze, and you go to silver, and then you have a gold.
These are
hammer.
very heavy, very heavy.
Oh well, we're just really strong.
I'm beefy.
I could just snap.
So can I. I've almost done it before. So when you're not snapping hammers and upgrading your law degree, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on the internet over at Blue Sky. At Jonathan Estes, which is my name. That is open to the public now, so everybody can follow me on Blue Sky. A lot of fun. And you can also, check me out on YouTube. YouTube.com/@Quentz27. I don't know. The URL sucks. Someone else took Quentz.
You should try just to take it, see if they have anything going on over there.
Yeah, or maybe I could find them and, I don't know, murder them?
Or just take their password.
How about you? Can people follow you?
Oh, you can follow me on Blue Sky. I forgot what the URL is, but it's over there covering this guy's face. And you can also...
what if they're listening? Then they're out of luck?
It's probably bluesky.com/Ivan Hahn.
Yeah, probably. I think you could just say @Ivan Hahn.
No.
Okay, go on.
And you can head on over to youtube.com/thesnackguy, and better URL than his. And you can just...
Arguable.
And you can see my brand new review of Combo's Pretzel Pizzeria. Brand new episode just came up. I talk about Combo's pizzeria flavored pretzels. It's over there at youtube.com/thesnackguy.
Personally, I like AAB up X. That's one of my favorite combos. Thanks so much for... it's been real. Come back next week. Check out the Patreon. Do whatever you got to do. And stay legal. I'm Jonathan Estes.
I'm Ivan Hahn, and this has been Geeks on Trial.
And case closed, remember?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
We don't have to do that.
We probably